Hi, I'm Michaela with TechWise Academy. Thank you so much for joining us today. Today we're going to be going over some of our favorite code.org puzzles, and today we're going to be going over Ice Age. So we're going to be using code.org, which is a block-based and entirely free website, and it does work on most devices. If you're following along with this video, awesome. Feel free to pause it as you see fit, and we're going to go ahead and jump right into code.org. So on the screen is code.org. We're going to go into the Learn section, and scrolling down we're going to find the grades K-5 section, and we're going to go into Course A. And these are great for if you are looking for an unplugged activity, or if you're kind of looking for something to become familiar with the mouse. We're going to do 5-2, so this is lesson 5, puzzle 2. And the reason we're skipping number 1 is because that's actually a video. It's a wonderful video, it goes over the parts of code.org, but right now we're going to skip it. So we're going to jump into 5-2. If this box comes up, that's okay, just click somewhere on the screen and it'll go away. These are our instructions at the top. So we've got a speaker button here, and we've got our work area, or our workspaces down here. This is where we drag out our code. This is the toolbox, and this is where the game area is. So this is where we're going to see what our character does, or what they're coded to do. So our goal is to get Scrat, this is Scrat, and our goal is to get Scrat to the acorn. And now this might look like a big problem. Maybe this acorn is really far away, maybe this is a first time on code.org. So we're going to use decomposition for this. We're going to take this big problem of get all the way to the acorn, and we're going to break it down into smaller problems. So the first thing I need to figure out which way I should go. But if I go north, or if I go up, I fall into the water. I could go south, I could go east, and I can go west. And I think the fastest way for me to do this is to go south. So I'm going to go ahead and drag, let's see, 1, 2, 3 south blocks. 1, 2, I do have this site muted right now, so it is a little bit easier to hear me. But when the block snaps in, it will actually make a little clicking noise. So that's how you'll know that it is connected. If it looks like this, then the code will not run when I hit run. You'll notice now that there is a reset button. You can feel free to hit reset and run as many times as you want. There's no penalty for that, or no harm in doing that. So I will go ahead and connect this. If I hit the step button, I add multiple blocks. This step button will do it one step at a time. So the first step worked, the second step worked, and it looks like I need to go one more. So we're going to add a south block to the bottom. I'm going to reset Scrat, and Scrat's going to start exactly over at the top. Because if Scrat didn't start completely over, they would run this code from here, 1, 2, oh, they're in the water by that point. So Scrat's going to go over and start over. And I'm going to hit run this time, so run will run the entire program. Beautiful, and Scrat got their video, or their acorn, sorry. I was about to say you could pause the video here when this screen comes up. So if you ever see this screen, that means that I'm about to go on to the next puzzle. So if you see this screen come up, you can go ahead and pause the video if you want a chance to try it out on your own. This one, it says use 2 movement blocks to get Scrat to the acorn. So that tells me that I'm going to have to think very carefully about how to use only 2 blocks. And that doesn't include this one. But if you notice right here, it says workspace 1 out of 3 blocks. That's code.org's way of saying, hey, this puzzle can be done in 3 blocks. And that does include the when run. So we need to see if we can go in only 2 blocks. So I know I'm not going to be able to go up and then over, and then down. I'm going to look and see if there's a different way, a faster way to do that. So if I go 1, 2, looks like I'm going to go 2 to the east. Oops. Perfect. 2 to the east, and we'll go ahead and hit run. Excellent. Again, this sign comes up that is a great indicator of when you can pause the video if you so choose to do so. This way it looks like I can only go a few options. I can't go north because if I go north I'm going to fall in the water. For the sake of this video, if I do go north, this is what happens. He's going to turn around and oh no, I fell into the water. If this happens, that's okay. Mistakes are how we learn. Go ahead and hit reset, and then it'll all go back to normal. So I know that I can't use this block, so I'm going to put this block back into the toolbar and a little trash can will come up. I can either go over to the right and then down, or over east and then down, or I could go south and then down. I choose to go over to the east and then south. But if you went south first and then east, that's fine. There's tons of different ways that problems can be solved. No one way is more right than the other. That's just the way that I chose to do it. Perfect. And wonderful. And for this one, now we're on puzzle 5. And you'll notice that I have some dark green circles up here. That's because I've used the blocks that code.org says is the fastest, or the fewest amount of ways possible. If I were to take a longer route, which there's nothing wrong with taking a longer route, code.org just says that there's a faster way to do that. So if I were to solve this puzzle by going down, so I would be right here, 1, 2, and breaking down this into smaller problems, I would be down, 1, 2, up, up. So north, north. While this will complete the puzzle, I'm going to hit run right here. It is not the fastest way to do that. So you'll notice it says I used 6 out of 4 blocks. So I could have done this a little bit faster. And you'll notice that there's a light green circle right here. That light green circle means that there was a faster way to do it. Not that this was wrong or incomplete, it's just that there was a faster way to do that. So with this faster way, I'm actually going to go over to, and again, there are multiple ways you could solve this problem, or this puzzle. I'm gonna go over to, which should take me here. Let's check to make sure that that worked. 1 and 2. And now I can go north since the acorn is right above me. Perfect. Over, over, and north. Now you'll see that I have a dark green circle. This is a wonderful video about debugging. Debugging is the process of finding bugs or mistakes in code and then correcting them. We are not actually going to watch this video, but I do highly recommend it. It is a wonderful video. If you're watching this video, you can scroll down and hit continue and it will take you on to puzzle 7. Perfect. Ooh, I've got some gray blocks here. I didn't want them there. I want them to go. Oh, it doesn't look like I can do that. It says figure out what is missing and then add blocks to get Scrat to the acorn. Oh, okay. So I can't actually delete these gray blocks. I have to use the code that they've given. So even if I would have gone north first, I have to use this code. So what I like to do is I'm going to check their code for any bugs that they have. And I'm going to hit the step block to do that. Okay, west. That step works for this process. Another step. That second step looks good. And I like that code.org puts a yellow block around here because that's telling me that this is the step that it currently just did. So if I hit step again, you'll notice that the yellow box goes down to this block. That's the code. That's the line of code that code.org is running right now. This line of code works. And this line of code works. They have a bug in their code. In this case, the bug is something they forgot to add. So we're going to have to add blocks for them. I'm going to hit reset, and that should fix the bug in their code. So sometimes bugs are things we forget to add, or sometimes we added too many. Perfect. Again, this is a great symbol or a screen to show you that now would be a good time to pause the video if you so choose to do so. And this one says, your turn. What do you need to do to get Scrat to the acorn? There are a couple of ways I can do this. I'm going to go, let's go down this time. So I'm going to go only down 1 time. That should take me here, but let's fact check it. I like to check my code as I go because if I'm looking for bugs, if I have 10 or so blocks down here, it's a little bit harder for me to find the bug in my code if there was one. This way, doing it in small problems or decomposing this one really truly lets me focus on just the small problem. How do I get down to just this space? And if there were any bugs in this code, it's a lot easier for me to find them here than it would be to find them in a longer code. So now I'm here, and then my acorn's over here. 1, 2, 3. So I'm going to try, nope, I almost grabbed the west. If I had gone west, I would have had a bug in my code. I would have added something that shouldn't have been there, and I would have gone into this water over here. So we're going to go eastbound, and we need 3 of them. I do check in with this every once in a while just to see how many blocks I've been using, and it says I've used 5 out of 5. Code.org says that is the fastest way to do that. So south, east, east, east. Wonderful. Then we'll hit continue. Ooh, a challenge puzzle. It says challenge puzzles are lessons designed to stretch your brain. Just do the best that you can. Skip for now, or I'm ready. I think I'm definitely ready for this challenge. I think that I can do it. I'm going to go ahead and hit I'm ready. So it says challenge. Move around the broken ice to get Scrat to the acorn. Oh no, before this was pretty they're like just going through one and then around, or maybe going down and then over, but now I can't go straight automatically. I can't move this way. So I'm going to have to go either up and around this way or down and then up this way. So I think I'm gonna go up this one. I'm gonna hit run, because before we had straight line paths. Sometimes they turned, but it was mostly a straight line path, but this one is not. I can't just go straight automatically. So this code works, so I'm gonna go 1, 2 to the westbound. Let's go add 2, and let's check this code as well. We'll hit reset, go up, over, over. So I've almost gotten around this piece of ice right here, this broken piece of ice. So that's my small problem. We're gonna go, let's go down. This should get me all the way around the broken ice. That's small problem number 1, is get around the broken ice. Small problem number 2 is get the acorn. Now I can get the acorn. So small problem number 2, you'll notice that if I keep hitting run and reset, that it will come up and it'll say keep coding. Something's not quite right. This little light bulb over here will also give me little hints if I wanted to do that. But I think I'm pretty good. I don't need a hint right now because I've managed to break this problem down, and I have gone all the way around the ice, and now I will go ahead and get to the acorn. And then I'll hit reset, and then we will hit run. Going all the way around the broken ice, and lastly getting the acorn. Beautiful. It says challenge complete. You just wrote 5 lines of code. If I hit show code, it will actually show me the code that I wrote. We're using block-based coding right now, but this is the code underneath the hood. This is what a computer programmer would write if they wanted this character to get the acorn. And this one, it says fix the bugs to get Scrat to the acorn. And I remember from a previous lesson that I can't delete these. So I'm gonna see what happens with their code. They go north. Oh no. Okay, so they have a bug. And it looks like I need these blocks, but they're not in the right sequence. They're not in the right order. So these are the 2 blocks that they're using, but they went up first. And I don't really want to go up first and then over. In this case, I have to go over to the west, and then I have to go northbound. So they have the northbound one right, but it's just not in the right order, and they're missing a block. So we're gonna go ahead and change their code. In this case, they had 2 bugs. They had it in the wrong sequence or the wrong order, and they were missing the correct block. This is puzzle 11, so let's go 1, 2, 3. I'm just worried about this portion right here. That's 3 to the west. 1, 2, and 3. And then Scrat is moving over. Wonderful. Now Scrat is directly below the acorn. So my second small problem is that I need to move up or to the north. And we've gotten our acorn. We're gonna go ahead and hit continue. And then this one it says now get the acorn any way you can. There's a lot of different ways I could do this. I could go up this way, and then I could go over. I could go over and then up. I can kind of do like a little staircase where I go over or up, over, maybe over again. There's a lot of different ways, so definitely experiment with this one, and you'll notice that this one doesn't tell you how many blocks that you can use. So there's a lot of different ways you could do this. This fancy little block has shown up. This is actually a repeat loop. So this is going to make my life a lot easier, because before I had to take, if I wanted to go west, let's see, I would have wanted to go 1, 2, 3, 4. I would have had to have gone 1, 2, 3, 4, like that. Well, what if it was 100 spaces? That's a lot over here. Sometimes I lose count and I have to count them all. But this block, this is the repeat loop, this is going to make my life a little bit easier and a lot faster, and it's going to help me look for bugs a lot faster because I'll understand that this code is all in one section as opposed to having 100 of these all lined out. So I'm going to pop this over to the side real fast, and I'm going to take this pink loop. So whatever is inside of here, so if I put this inside of here, this will repeat whatever number that is. So this is the same. Let me change that number. This and this is the exact same because this says I will run whatever is in this pink loop, whatever's in the mouth part of it. I will do that this number of times. So I will move over 4 times. And the computer won't lose track. It won't need to go get a snack. It's really great at doing repeat loops. So it'll say, I'll go over. Oh, did I do that 4 times? No, okay. I'll go over again. Did I do it 4 times? Nope. Do it again. Do it again. Oh, I've done it 4 times. Perfect. So this is actually the exact same code. I just did this one in 2 blocks as opposed to doing it with 4. So I will attach that and I will see what happens when I do this. 1, 2, 3, 4. So the computer's actually counting for me right now. And I see that there's another pattern. Repeat loops are great for things that repeat over and over and over again. So I kept going over, 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 and over again. In this case, I'm going to go up. So I'm going to go up 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm going to add it just to the bottom, just like we've normally been doing with this blocks, or this block, so that it's going to go this code first, and then it's going to do this repeat loop. And I want 1, 2, 3, 4. So I want to have 4 of these. And I want an up. So this code could have been, I wrote it in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I wrote this code in 5 lines of code. But I could have done this one, and it would have been the exact same thing, except now we have a whole bunch more space that's being taken up, and it might be harder for me to count. This is only 4, but if it were a lot further away, I would have to count bigger numbers. I might lose track of where I'm counting. This is harder for me to see where a bug is, and it takes up a lot of space. So using this repeat loop is a wonderful tool, and I definitely recommend that try it, see what happens. And it's okay if you make a mistake. Mistakes are how we learn. And now we're running up. Awesome, Scrat was able to get their acorn, which is wonderful. So thank you so much for following along with us. This was Code.org's Course A, Lesson 5, and we did a work-through. Let us know what was your favorite puzzle. How did you solve the puzzles? Did you solve them the same way I did? Or did you solve them in a different way? We would love to hear from you. Thank you, and stay tuned for more Code.org tutorials. Bye!